Okay, so we're catching up with one of the stars of yesterday's show, Michael Denny, who got the privilege of presenting a vast number of new titles on PlayStation 4. Could you just talk to us a little bit about what the thinking was there to present all these titles and what you wanted to sort of achieve by doing that?
Well, I think you're right. It was a great privilege for me, and it's nice to be back here at Gamescom in Europe. I think doing what we do best, which is present new titles. So, I think in terms of 7 new IPs, I was privileged to present 2 on Vita, Murasaki Baby and Big Fest. I think showed that this year we are going to launch some big blockbusters on Vita, such as Tearaway and Killzone Mercenary. But it shows the creativity comes in all shapes and sizes in a way, with 2 great titles there. And also I think it's the same point on PlayStation 4. We've announced a lot of our big AAA blockbusters, and a lot of our other big AAA teams are just finishing off on PlayStation 3, the likes of Naughty Dog, Santa Monica and even Quantic Dream. So we took the opportunity, I think, to unveil some more creative and smaller titles. So it was a fantastic way to launch them here into the European market.
So I was a little bit confused by the immense number of titles, but there are a few. I would say it's a little bit of a trend that you're teaming up with independents, but you're publishing the title as well. So it's not just indies coming to PlayStation 4, but you're teaming up with perhaps a few more second-party developers in that sense than what you've done in the last few years.
Yeah, I think it's really about getting great content onto PlayStation platforms, and that can be done in many ways. It's great that the indie community have the freedom to come up with their own ideas and publish their own ideas, but sometimes even smaller studios want some help, whether it's in terms of production or the creative side as well, and we'd love to partner with these guys to bring these titles exclusively to our platforms.
So if we touch on some of the specifics, the Chinese Room, is that a Sony published title, or how's that working out? Is that self-published by them, or?
No, that will be published. So all the titles, the 7 titles I announced, will be first-party Sony published titles. So
not on PC or anything.
That's correct. Exclusive to PlayStation. So it's great to partner with those guys, given what they've done on Dear Esther, and we're so excited about what they're going to do with Rapture.
I mean, I don't think I've ever been that excited about a game that I know absolutely nothing about, because the trailer was so enigmatic.
I think that was the whole point. It was a teaser. It was deliberately a teaser. When you have, I guess, a team that has done something like Dear Esther, all you need to do is tease it to get people interested. Yeah.
One thing that I found funny was that you couldn't really avoid doing a little bit of a punch at Microsoft during the press conference, but it was almost like you feel a little bit bad for Microsoft for once, because you couldn't really drive it home, because you've been doing so great and they've been having so many troubles all throughout. But really, something that I noticed was that a lot of the indies that you did announce, they used to be on Xbox Live Arcade. Their last title was on Xbox Live Arcade. Is that something you're gunning for specifically, or is that just happened organically that you picked up these developers that used to do Xbox Live stuff?
Yeah, well, for me, we're concentrating on what we do ourselves. I mean, we've had a clear vision of where we want to go with PlayStation 4 from the beginning. We've designed it for gamers, and it's been designed by gamers, and I think with that mentality in mind, and the console we put together, and the ease of access and the ease of development, to partner with these great creatives is exactly what we wanted to do, and that really is happening.
So the thinking behind November 29th, why did you pick that date for Europe? Is there anything specific?
No, obviously the main thing you want to do when you're launching a platform, you need 3 things to really get off the ground up and running. You need great hardware, great software, and a great price point as well. But of course you need the hardware and software in enough supply to make it a worthwhile launch. So the dates are really built around those factors.
So the 1 million pre-orders, are you ready for another million, or is it going to be scarce at launch, or what's the status of that?
I mean, all I can say, it's great. The reaction to PlayStation 4, the pre-orders, so excited, the momentum's there. So no, we just keep going forward, stick with the vision, keep the announcements going, and can't wait for the launch.
But for a fan who hasn't pre-ordered, what do you have any message? Should they pre-order to be sure to get it, or?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got to make their own choices. You know, I think if you pre-order, you know, you're more secure, yes. So leave it up to everybody to decide. But I think the main thing is PlayStation 4 now is out there for people. They're excited, they see the games coming, and I think they're going to make their own choices.
So the importance of the price drop is officially PlayStation 3 dropped now. Maybe it's been unofficially dropped a little bit earlier in some places in Europe, but PlayStation Vita more specifically was dropped. What do you think that these price drops sort of, why did they come now and what's the importance of them?
Yeah, well, I think you see throughout the life cycle of any platform, we like to try and get the price down as soon as we can on these things. So, you know, the time was right for another price drop for those platforms to try and keep momentum going. I mean, you look at PlayStation 3, and at that price point now, with just had The Last of Us, got games like Beyond coming, GT6 coming, GTA 5, you know, that's a great proposition for people as well. And Vita, I think with the creativity we showed from some of these titles coming, and that price point as a handheld gaming system is going to be really compelling.
That week is going to be crazy for Sony here to work, all the people that are putting games out. First PlayStation 4, 1 week later Gran Turismo 6.
Yeah.
You're not making things easy for yourself, are you?
Well, we like to get, it's not about making it easy for us, is it? It's about giving choice to our fans out there. So, you know, whichever console they want to buy into, there's going to be fantastic content. So it's going to be an exciting holiday series, yeah?
All right, so if we look ahead, we got you have announced quite a few first-party big titles, but one that came out yesterday that was a surprise, I think, everyone, because I couldn't even remember that Sony owned the license for Shadow of the Beast. It's a pre-PlayStation thing. It's Sony ImageSoft and back with Psygnosis and all that stuff. What's the reason for bringing it back now? And can you tell us anything about the team that's working on that?
So it's an interesting one. You know, I started my career in Psygnosis back in the day, and I think it's always been one of those titles that we've been constantly asked about. You know, Shadow of the Beast, anything happening with Shadow of the Beast, permanently approached by people, what's going to go on. So with PlayStation 4 coming up, did seem the right time to look at it again and see could we do anything else. The developer for it's a new startup based in the UK, Heavy Spectrum, so we're excited to be...
Any of the old talent working there, or is it a brand new outfit? Or?
It's a brand new studio, guys who've been in the industry a while, XEA, other studios, so no, we're excited to work with them. It's early days on what that title is going to be yet, but we thought the time was right just to give everybody a glimpse, and I think there's a lot of love still for that brand.
And we know it's going to be violent, that's one thing that's for sure.
Did you get that? Yeah, well, that was the idea.
All right, so moving ahead, that's one interesting thing you're looking at in different direction for not just your own internal studios. Do you think that that's something that perhaps you sort of have sort of picked up in the last few years, that you want to do a little bit more with external developers and that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, let's say on first parties, as I said last night, we have 14 internal studios, but the reality is we partner with over 50 external teams on a first-party basis who are making exclusive titles for PlayStation. So it's always been a big part of what we do, and you know, most of those titles, in fact, I'm just thinking now, I think all of those 7 titles, the 2 for Vita and the 5 for PlayStation 4, were all done with exclusive external partners.
Exciting times.
Absolutely.
And of course, beyond this sort of the same thing that you got going there, so there's a lot of that coming now. I'd like to thank you very much for your time, and I really enjoyed the show yesterday, and looking forward to PlayStation 4.